like to say that it is already a privilege to be here today. Okay? And the topic which we are discussing is AI power, which is mostly covered by Mr. Our first speaker. Okay. What I would like to highlight is why AI is important to rental companies. So basically, my whole discussion will be on four parameters. One is about the business, which AI-powered access equipment would bring to rental companies. Second is on the fall protection policy, which is for the worker safety. Third one will be about efficiently leasing the machines, or what we called as, a leasing model, which will be more effective, wet versus dry, and lean management implementation, which most of us believe is only subject to big factories, right? And the last discussion which we will have is workforce analytics, which was kind of covered, but I would like to take more details on the same. So first is, why do we really need these kind of equipments and AI powered equipments? What kind of discussions which we had earlier? See, today India is at a growth platform, and this is something which everybody knows. The way we are moving ahead, the way we are investing in infrastructure, the way we are proposing the smart cities. By 2035, India is definitely setting the tone, and AWP or access working will be the key to get the infrastructure development what we are aiming. Something what China did in last 2 decades is the next story for India, and the world is eyeing on India. Today, you have many manufacturers who are already set up in India or are planning to enter India business model, and therefore ensuring that Made in India is a success story. Globally, if we look at the business of AWP, it's approximately $47 billion, and it is going at a CAGR of 7.5% and estimated to be at around 98.5% billion. However, in India, this is going to be a 2 billion plus industry. Now, the challenges with this industry is this is highly capital intensive business, and therefore we need to structure ourselves, and the big rental companies need to come up with a policy and ensure that the implementations what we are doing is a benchmark for the coming rental companies. Okay. What I would like to start is from the wet versus dry leasing, a model which is talked about many times. However, it's not common in India. So when we say wet leasing is basically when we are leasing with operators, and dry leasing is something which is available globally, but probably not even 5% in India. The big challenge is the kind of policies what we have. The fall protection policies for the worker are not in place. Most of the companies don't want to engage their assets with the customer directly because they fear that they may misuse it. Likewise, customer doesn't want to use the machineries on their own because they fear if there is any accidental death, it will be on them. So we need to ensure that we are creating an environment wherein the workers are trained well. In this case, our operators are trained well, and equally, our clients needs to be trained well to ensure that they are giving the right atmosphere, they are giving the right compliance, they are meeting the compliances for our workers and for the machines to be right fit for the usage. Right now, let's talk about global view and how AI could help us to grow dry leasing. With AI, there are a lot of solutions which will ensure dry leasing is possible. Being a rental company, my biggest challenge is with dry leasing, I don't know if the customer is actually fulfilling the commitment which is on the. However, with AI, we could analyze and we could be rest assured that the machine will get the natural utilization whenever it is used by the customer. So I would highly recommend the top rental companies talk with the top 100 customers and educate them about the new AI, the technology is coming on board, and also ensuring them to focus more on lines rather than practice. Otherwise, all the rental companies will always have challenges of fleet management, will always have challenges of operations, operators not going on site, we don't have trained operators, there's already a shortage of skill labor. And believe me, we are in business of renting our equipment. We are not in the business of human resource.
where we have to maintain operators, we have to ensure that operators are very trained, and we also have to sometimes take care of them regardless of the situation what they have with their customers.
Second thing which I want to ensure is the fall protection policy, which is absolutely nowhere in India, therefore causing hazardous incidents at site. We need to ensure that the products which are going are actually for safety of assets at site and ensuring a work environment which is reliable and safer. So we need to educate customer why load sensors are required, what kind of safeguarding measures can be taken to safeguard your operators, and also to ensure that your inclino sensors are there, which means if the machine is at inclination, it should not work. It should automatically stop. These kind of environment will ensure that there is a high standard of safety, both for the assets and also for the customers. Here, when I say assets, is basically our operators or the people who are actually working on the safer platform. Secondly, there has to be regular training, supervision, and a training for emergency rescue, which is lacking at our job sites. In case of fire, in case of anything that happens to a machine, ultimately you are playing with a machine, and there may be a failure with a machine. So the team must, the rental companies need to take this ownership, and they need to train both the operators and the customer and educate them well about the consequences which may occur if these machines are not used in the right direction. Now coming to the lean management, which I discussed, most of us feel that lean management is a subject which is for the big industries, and it has nothing to do with rental companies. However, I believe with lean management, we will be able to eliminate the wastage of time. We will be able to eliminate the wastage of motion. In motion, which I mean probably is movement of this, equipment from one location to another, and also we could maximize our financial utilizations and maximize our client confidence in a longer manner. Here, what I want to also quote is our smart access is should be the way it is with the lean management, that is just in time strategy. So if we can boil down to a level of just in time, it is bound that this rental company's growth will be definitely a very different way what we see as of today. Now, India is bunch of young generation, which also Modi says in most of his, presentations. And we all know that the new generation which is coming, whether it is operator, whether it is supervisors, are all young and smart people, and they are quite acquainted with technology. So we need to train them how they can use AI to their benefits. Whether it is a small operator, whether it is a supervisor, whether it is a fleet manager, whether it is a purchaser, etc. They need to understand the kind of shifts which is happening in the new technology. Here, what I would like to say is how AI-generated access platform can reduce physical strain, how they can minimize the human errors, and how effectively they can optimize the productivity of our labor. This is something which needs to be transformed, not just by the rental companies, but also by the OEMs who are producing these products to customers as well as to the rental companies. And they need to take the ownership to train well the clients. The third thing which I want to highlight is aging criteria, which is which is rare in industries, especially in India. If we have to grow rental business, if we have to ensure that more companies are going to be and participating and would like to enter this business model, we need to ensure that there has to be an aging criteria. We need to have a defleeting policy in place to get safety on board, to ensure the work environment for both operator and at job sites are easy, and to ensure there are lesser breakdowns. The last thing which I want to conclude is how AI is going to work on ROI, because we are all working on return on investments, right? We all have our hard-earned money and we are looking for return on investments. So with AI comes three parameters. One is we could actually identify the ideal time. We could ensure that the downtime or the repair and the logistic cost is drastically low. And we could actually bill our customer without much of disputes in the actual operating hours. This way, I'm ensuring with the kind of new development which is happening on IoT front with AI, and I think Mr. I mean, I'm sorry that I'm not getting the name, but the speaker before already mentioned that we have multiple dimensions where we could use AI to get analytics of the data. The point is how this analytic is going to help us. This is going to help us by streamlining the operations, by streamlining the logistic issues, by streamlining the financial issues. Okay. So here I would like to say with aerial working platforms, if we can ensure that if AI is in place, we may have right forecast, and sometimes the machines could move directly from job sites to another job site if there is AI in place. Also, this will downtime the penalties. It will reduce the cost of transportation. It will reduce the cost of downtime to the customer. And in the long run, this is a win-win for both rental companies as well as customers. However, all this requires customers to encourage new fleets or a minimum 5-year aging fleets. Big customers like L&T, Reliance, Adani needs to step up and ensure that at their job sites, in order to have safety parameters, they should not encourage a machine which is not healthy. And this will be the only key for rental growth in India. AI is definitely the thing which all the rental companies are looking forward. And I believe with AI in place, there will be a lot of stress which will be released for the rental companies pertaining to the logistic, pertaining to the service issues, and equally there will be a stress-free business environment which will be created for the big companies. So I would like to just conclude my discussion with the four parameters for which I started. I believe with AI powered equipments, we would have a better future for India economy. We would have a better return on investments for the rental companies. This will definitely reduce the downtime in a way, giving more financial utilizations to the rental companies. This should reduce the issues related to operations or operators. Hereby, we would like to encourage dry leasing model to the big corporates, and equally, we would take the opportunity to train them well so that there are no accidental deaths in spite of no operator being on job sites.